drugs have played a huge role in the world of hip-hop. For many rappers, drugs are more than just lyrics or images. They are part of real life. Some artists use drugs to escape pain, deal with stress, or handle fame. Others fall into addiction by accident, not knowing how dangerous it can become. Over the years, drug use in hip-hop has gone from being a hidden habit to being part of the music itself. Songs often talk about pills, lean, cocaine, and other substances. Fans sing along without always knowing how real those lyrics are. Behind the fame, behind the music, many rappers are fighting personal battles. Some survive, others don't. Today we are going to talk about how drugs influence 6 famous rappers: Young Thug, Lil Uzi Vert, Playboi Carti, Juice WRLD, Mac Miller, and Kanye West. Each story is different, but they all show how deep this problem runs in the hip-hop world. Juice WRLD was a rapper who connected with people in a deep way. He didn't just make songs for parties or radio. His music was full of emotion, pain, and truth. He talked openly about heartbreak, anxiety, and using drugs to cope. His lyrics felt real because they came from real struggles. But the same drugs that helped him deal with life also led to his death. His story is a warning about how addiction can destroy even the most talented people. Juice WRLD, whose real name was Jared Higgins, was born in Chicago. He grew up listening to rock and punk music. At first, he didn't even listen to rap. That's why his sound was different. It was a mix of emo, rock, and hip-hop. His biggest hit, Lucid Dreams, was about heartbreak and sadness. It made him famous fast, but it also showed that he wasn't afraid to talk about his emotions. From a young age, Juice WRLD started using drugs. He said he first drank lean in 6th grade. Lean is a drink made from cough syrup with codeine, and it makes you feel relaxed and high. But it's dangerous and very addictive. Over time, he started using more drugs like Percocet, Xanax, and other pills. He didn't hide this. In many songs, he talked about being high or feeling numb. To him, drugs were a way to escape the pain inside. His music often sounded like a cry for help. In songs like Wishing Well, he talked about knowing the pills were hurting him, but still feeling like he needed them. In that song, he said, "If it wasn't for the pills, I wouldn't be here. But if I keep taking these pills, I won't be here." That one line says everything. Juice WRLD knew the drugs were dangerous, but he didn't know how to stop. People around him tried to help. His girlfriend, Ali Lottie, said he wanted to quit. He even promised her he would try. But addiction is hard to beat, especially when you're also dealing with fame, pressure, and mental health problems. The music world moves fast, and sometimes people don't get the time or support they need to recover. On December 8, 2019, Juice WRLD died from an accidental overdose. He was just 21. He had just landed in Chicago when he suffered a seizure at the airport. It was later reported that he took several pills in a panic when he saw police were waiting to search his private jet. The mix of drugs in his system was too much. He died that morning, and the world lost one of its brightest young stars. Juice WRLD's death shocked his fans and the music industry. He had so much talent and so much left to say. After he died, his team released more of his music. Songs like Righteous and Conversations gave people one last chance to hear his voice. These songs made it clear that Juice WRLD was aware of his struggles and wanted to get better. His story is both sad and powerful. He showed that it's okay to talk about pain. He helped young people feel less alone. But his death also shows how serious drug addiction is. It doesn't care if you're rich or famous. It can take anyone. Juice WRLD didn't die because he was weak. He died because he was fighting a battle that too many people go through alone. Today, his music still lives on. Fans say it helps them get through tough times. Juice WRLD's honesty changed hip-hop, and his message is clear. Talk about your pain, get help, and never stay silent. His life was short, but his impact will last forever. Lil Uzi Vert is another rapper who has been influenced by drugs. Lil Uzi became famous with a new style that mixes singing and rapping. He is known for his energetic performances and fashion sense. But behind the flashy life, Lil Uzi has talked about using drugs like lean and Percocet. He uses drugs for many reasons, including dealing with pain and stress. Lil Uzi has also struggled with mental health problems. Sometimes drugs are a way to hide from sadness or anxiety. His music reflects this battle. Songs like EXO Tour Lif speak about heartbreak, loneliness, and drug use. The song became a big hit, but it also showed the dark side of fame. Lil Uzi has said in interviews that drugs helped him escape reality, but they also created new problems. He once said that he wanted to stop, but it was hard. Like many others, drugs became a cycle that was difficult to break. His story highlights how easy it is for young rappers to get caught in the trap of drugs, especially when they are suddenly famous and pressured to keep going. Young Thug is one of the most unique voices in hip-hop. His style is different, wild, and sometimes hard to understand. But behind his music is a story that involves drugs. Young Thug has spoken openly about using lean, a drink made from cough syrup that contains codeine. Lean has been popular in the rap world for many years. It can make a person feel relaxed and sleepy, but it is very dangerous. Using lean can cause addiction, breathing problems, and even death. Young Thug grew up in tough neighborhoods where drugs were common. For many people there, drugs are a way to escape a hard life. Young Thug's music sometimes talks about the struggles of life, but it also shows how drugs are part of that world. Although he has not publicly talked about being addicted, his close circle has mentioned the dangers of drugs around him. Lean has affected many rappers close to him, and it's clear that drugs have been a part of the environment he came from. Young Thug's story shows how drugs are woven into the fabric of hip-hop culture, especially in places with poverty and violence. Playboi Carti is known for his style and unique voice. His music is often described as mumble rap, where the words are hard to understand, but the vibe is strong. Playboi Carti has also talked about drug use, especially lean and Xanax. Xanax is a medicine used to treat anxiety, but many people misuse it for the high it gives. It can be very addictive and dangerous. Playboi Carti has made music that talks about drugs in a way that seems to celebrate them. This has been controversial. Some fans enjoy the sound, while others worry it sends the wrong message. Carti's lifestyle and lyrics show how drugs have become part of the image and identity of some rappers. For young fans who look up to him, this can make drug use seem normal or even cool. But behind the music, drugs bring risk. Many rappers who use drugs struggle with addiction or health problems. Playboi Carti's story is a reminder that the glamour of drugs in music does not show the full picture. Mac Miller was a rapper and producer known for his honest and heartfelt music. His journey with drugs was painful and real. Mac Miller used drugs to cope with the pressures of fame and personal struggles. Unlike some artists who hide their problems, Mac was open about his addiction and mental health. He tried to get better, and his later music reflected his efforts to heal. Sadly, in 2018, Mac Miller died from an accidental overdose at age 26. His death deeply affected fans and the music community. Mac's story shows that even when artists try to fight their demons, addiction can still be deadly. His honesty about his struggles helped many fans understand the reality of drug addiction. Kanye West's story is different, but equally important. Kanye has spoken about his battle with bipolar disorder and addiction to prescription painkillers. His addiction began after surgery when he was prescribed opioids. While he did not struggle with street drugs like some rappers, his story highlights the danger of legal drugs and mental illness. Kanye's struggles have been very public, including hospitalizations and emotional breakdowns. His story shows how mental health and drug addiction often go hand in hand. Despite his problems, Kanye continues to make music and influence hip-hop. His story is a reminder that addiction and mental health issues affect people from all walks of life, even those with fame and fortune. These 6 rappers show us how drugs have influenced hip-hop in different ways. For some, drugs were a way to cope with pain or pressure. For others, drugs became part of their image or lifestyle. Unfortunately, drugs have also caused tragedy, addiction, and loss. Behind every song about drugs is a real person with struggles. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification button for more videos.